Hello and welcome back to the plot. It's been a bit of a busy week in the house. We've been sowing a lot of seeds. Crystal's done a lot of herbs. I've been doing some more tomatoes and salad leaves, things like that, all in the house. But we've also been ordering quite a bit of different things. So the first thing I was getting was these buckets. So I've managed to get 10 of them. That's going to be for the potatoes. They were out £30 on eBay. They weren't too much, to be fair. So that's going to be where my potatoes are going to be going for this year, because last year we had a lot of scab on the main crop potatoes, so I'm going to try them in them buckets to see if that helps. We're also waiting for a delivery of compost today that was going to be for the potatoes this year. I've also invested in some new grow lights as well, because the ones I did have, they just didn't seem to be doing much. Everything was getting leggy, so I got some new ones which have seemed to really do the job. They're quite bright compared to the other ones that I have as well. So yeah, they're doing quite well. I also found some. I was in Poundland yesterday and found some what they're called shoe trays for 50p, but they're going to make great trays just for putting the seedlings on. They're quite big. IKEA do have similar ones, but they're quite long. But they were 50p. You can't go wrong. And then we did get another delivery that we've been really looking forward to, and it was gifted to us by Becky Metal. It's custom signs, weather vanes, quite a few other things. I'll put a link in the description. But what we got is we've got a weather vane and a hanging basket. The hanging basket is a Highland cow, and Crystal has an unhealthy obsession with them. And here is the hanging basket one. I'll all just come as one piece, this one. And we love it. Just there's something about the Highland cow, and especially with the plans for Scotland. Now that's probably going to go into that post there. I've had Crystal pre-drill where she wants it, so there's a couple of little holes in there. And we also were given a weather vane as well. Oh, I'll get the weather vane out. That is also surprise cows. So it comes all greatly packaged. It does require a tiny bit of assembly, but not too much. And get that one out. That's the weather vane we've got, which is seen as soon as Crystal's seen the cow, she just had to have it. Now with that one, we're not entirely sure where to put it. See, I'm thinking of putting it on one of these fence posts around the plot, but Crystal doesn't want to. No, there, I've been told. Crystal doesn't want to because it's like a shared bit, and obviously she doesn't want it next to it. So she is thinking of making one. She's thinking of making one out of a pallet and putting it. Was it onto the wildlife bit? It's just being bossy.
Maybe like next to these posts, but not on that post because that's a neighbour's post.
Right.
So maybe like just near the post.
And you want to do it out of pallets?
Or even try to get a plant front to get one of these and just put it in front.
Right.
On our post, it's not on someone else's post.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to take off the post because like what if a neighbour nicks it? I don't know, we'll figure it out, but I definitely want to make a post for it. I don't want it on someone else's post.
Yeah, so we do want to make a post, probably out of the load of pallets we've got in the back garden, or the ones we've got here. If anyone's got any ideas, leave a comment, and then we'll probably do them ones. See, I wanted on the outside. It would have been easier, but Crystal doesn't do things by half. But the hanging basket one, we're actually going to be using as a bird feeder at the minute. We've got something that hangs down off them. So I'm going to drill that into the wall now and try and hang that up on one of them posts.
Is that straight?
I think. I mean, you've just put them in a totally different place what your hole was at the top. But...
I know, but is it straight?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. different.
It's just from the side, but straight head on, it doesn't look straight. So
I don't know, you could take it out and move it over slightly. But...
the bottom bit. That's definitely not where I'm putting it.
I know, I even told you when you put it lining up with that hole that it didn't line up with the holes at the top. I spoke and said words. I think I got touched. We have it recorded.
No, you didn't, because you didn't have it recorded. Didn't.
You realise that I did say them holes don't line up. Do you want us to take them out?
No, just leave it. It's gonna bug me that it's doing this twist. That's so cute. Get the seat. Take the bird paper.
Maybe there was mealworms as well, but I thought you wouldn't want them. It takes a couple of days something to realise when there's food.
Hold it. Pretty disorderly.
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough? Or
Yeah, it should be enough for the time.
do you want to fold that over and just put it in the greenhouse?
Yes. Yeah, it looks great, doesn't it?
I love that.
It'd be nice when the sun's going past there. Be like shining through.
Sunset, and then you have the birds just sitting on there, and they're like just, oh, and then having like a little chair over there, and just sitting watching the birds.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I love that.
So yeah, we love that. That's Becky Metal. Links in the description. She was kind enough to gift it for us to put into the allotment. I do thank you very much. No, that's Crystal off the work, so you've just got me now. Alright, so one of my jobs that I'm going to be doing today is putting the raspberry and blackcurrant plants into them bigger pots in between there. I should have done it when I bought straight away the blackberry, but I was just waiting for the compost and stuff. So I'm going to put them in the bigger pots. I'm going to give them a water and a feed when I put them in. Let's get on with that. I've had the plant a couple of years now. It seems to do all right. They're lovely, the raspberries. Normally I'm not a raspberry fan, but they're really nice, these ones. I can't remember for the life as which variety it is. Oh, there we go. Right, so I'm going to have to put some compost at the bottom. I can hear Crystal struggling with the gate from a distance because it's a big double gate for cars, and I'm just hearing it clanging. I don't know if she's got out or not. I'm half expecting her to come out. I need the keys. Right. Oh, I've ripped the bottom. Right there. I'm just loosening up the sides a bit as well for it to get into the thing. I'm hoping it does more offshoots. That's the one problem. I've never kept track of which one this is. I'm sure it was a summer fruiting one, hence why I cut it back. But you know when you get the feeling that it's an autumn one? I'm hoping with it being slightly wider pot, they will spread a bit and give some more canes. But I didn't want to do it on the plot, like in the ground, just in case how much to spread. I know I can control it by cutting them back each year, certain ones. They're not too unruly, but between the trees, I want to control them because I'm not wanting loads of raspberries. It's only me and Crystal that eat them. But I'm just wanting a nice mix of fruit. There we go. First one done. Just looks like ash on the top now. Now I will be clever with this one and actually leave the type in it and everything. We do it. Fruiting July to August. Get to 1.5 meters, so it's not too bad. It'll be the same as the trees. And it's a good route when you're looking at it. See some slug activity there somewhere. It looks like they've got feed in it as well, so I'm gonna see the slug at the bottom here. Get that down because I always end up losing them. Ooh, put on them. There we go. I need to even them out, don't I? Right. Scooch you a bit over. Scooch you a bit there. You can see how the top of it was ashy like that. That's why we just been from the top of the compost. They're all potted up. Going to give them a water. And I've got a liquid sea feed as well. Sea feed? Yeah, liquid seaweed, that's the word. A liquid seaweed feed to give them a bit of a kick. I do need to bring some more of my feed up that I have at the house, but that's the only one I've got up here at the minute. That's one I've been feeding everything with up here. I do need to bring specific ones up now for them. Just looking there, my plum tree is starting to kick into life. Zoom in. Yeah, so I'm starting to get some life in the plum tree. It looks lovely when it's flowering. The amount of bees that go around it as well. Where's my watering can? Oh, yeah, it's liquid seaweed. Seaweed. Why can't I say seaweed? Right, well that's filling. One job I need to be doing is clearing this path. Crystal cleared a lot of down here the other week. Obviously we've got all this rubble. You can already see because just disturbed the ground. All the little seedlings are coming up, so that's going to need to be covered quite quick. But yeah, I am going to be moving this over at me next to my wood chip pile. Just try and get all the rubble in the same place. Even all the water, but when I can see I'm watering it, it's It's leaning slightly that way. I'm going to have to like bounce the ground out. This one's quite dry, so it's obviously a lot of the compost from the original one I had. None of these are straight. Get that way. I mean, can you see how like the water just sits there? It's not a good compost at all, the one I've got. Look at that. It's just sitting. I mean, you've just put the compost on. You would think it would go straight down. It's not. It's not even wanting to sink in. I'll give it a couple of seconds to then do it, but just to show you what compost it is, to probably stay away. That one. It was on such a good deal from from the range. Because I must have got about 1,000 litres for £40. Slowly going in. I don't know if it's just that dry and it just hasn't thingied it, but it's slowly, but it's just not keeping the water. I'm gonna water the middle. Hopefully that original compost will be alright, but yeah, you can see the middle's going down pretty easy, but the rest of it isn't. Right, I'll use the rest of the water in there. That's absolutely terrible, that compost. Because it's doing it with the beds as well. It's drying the beds out. Right, so that's that for the fruit area for the time being. Right, so we need to clear that path. So I'm going to get on with that job because I think that's going to be a bit of a boring job, me just picking up rubble and putting it over there. So I'll come back when I'm finished. Alright, so there we go. I have cleaned all that twigs, the rubble. I've left them there just that they're neatening them out the side. They're too heavy, I'm not moving them about. But I've also cleared quite a lot from down here. I've left bits on just to keep that weed suppressant down. I do need to change it about, or like flatten it out more, because this thing's still coming up, but it's just a bit awkward with them poles. I don't want to keep going on about that, but that just cheers me up, keep looking at that. But something that was pointed out on my wildlife patch, you see the daffodils are coming in now. They're looking brilliant. Everything's starting to bulb up now. You can starting to get the flowers on them now all over. But the patches of grass coming through. Now I know it's a wildlife and I'm wanting plants, but I don't want all these overtaking everything and beating out the daffodils and tulips and alliums. So I am going to go around and start taking all these clumps out now and in the middle as well, because I've already started sowing the flowers in the house that are going to go in there. But we are going to cover this area with a little layer of compost and add with soil to it, add with flowers to it. But I'm thinking just to keep on top of it so it doesn't go absolutely crazy, I'm going to give it a weed. Right, so I'm just going to start from the corner and make me way along. most of the weeds out from the bed now. I'm just going to keep on top of that because I don't want it overtaken with plants I don't want there. But in a few weeks, we should have plenty going into the ground. I'm still seeing weeds. Doesn't matter how much you pick up, you still see another one. So yeah, I'm just going to do that every other week. Every time I see something pop up, I'm just going to pull it out. Like I've been doing with the beds, I will be treating that just like a bed. The fun part is going to be next year after the flowers I've put in have self-sown and self-seeded. I'm trying to figure out which ones shouldn't be there. I might just take them all out and then just replant fresh ones each year. But I've managed to keep on top of the other beds with the weeding, so it's not been too bad. This one I can see the odd one coming through, but apart from that, every other bed seems to be all right. But a seed has germinated. So, this is why I missed it. Tiny. And there. Which, if I'm remembering rightly, these are baby beetroots. I didn't put chard in it. And the red, so there's another one there. But that is literally it. The peas have started. They've seemed to have kept up a bit more now and are seeming to come through. But the salads just haven't appeared whatsoever. I have started some in the house now to actually try and get some soon. But I have been watering them. Me and Crystal have been coming up every other day to water them. But they're just, I have no idea. I think it's this compost. It's terrible. But I think that's going to be a thing in the future of buying seed starting compost or making my own with some perlite and stuff like that. Because these are just not doing anything. I need to buy new trays because I don't like these trays. They're too flimsy. And they seem to be cracking, so I don't know if that could be another one. But I'm going to give it another week. I think it's now been a month I've had seeds in there. I mean, they've eventually germinated, so I'll give it another week or two, and I may just chuck them and restart again. It's just, it does get hot in here, but I don't want to open this door yet all the time. I do open it when I'm here, but I don't want to open it all the time in case it just takes my polytunnel, my greenhouse. But I'm looking, nothing else has germinated. Some of them are, it's weird, some are feeling dry, others aren't feeling dry, and I'm gonna give them another water. But it's weird, it's like bone dry, still feel wet, bone dry, still feel wet. And the same bone dry, I don't know if that's why it's getting more sun, but then that wouldn't make sense for this one, but not that one. This one's totally fine. They're all right, so I don't know. I know it's regulating the temperature in here and stuff, but it'll do for the time being. Like I say, I'm planting them in the house. See what comes up. They should come up soon. I did plant some parsnips out, but nothing's happened there. The radishes either. I did plant them in between them. I'm actually going to do another row of a different parsnip today. Just I want to see if the different ones react differently up here or just taste as well. So I'm going to do another run right now of the parsnips. Yeah, again, I keep forgetting to bring what they're called, the signs up to say where I've planted them, but I did leave sticks in the ground so I can't see, and hopefully when the radishes do germinate, it'll show us where I am. So it's going to be, the other one was there, so I'm going to do it here, just going straight down. Now for this one, I'm using a Gladiator. Now I can't remember what I used the last time, but it wasn't Gladiator. And then in between, I'm just doing a rainbow mix of radish. Now I had seen that when you do it, the radishes, obviously how long parsnips take to come in, you'll forget where they are. But then I've seen that radishes, obviously how fast they grow, show you where you've planted. So I'm going to attempt that. and see if it actually works. I think it was a Charles Dowden actual YouTube video that I watched. This will be my first year actually attempting to grow parsnips, so we'll see if I actually do a half decent job or not. Then the radishes I'm going to pop in between them. And the speed at each plant grows, they shouldn't hamper each other. Yeah, I've watered that bed in and watered that bed in. Just now, I was going to try and get some spring bulbs out. Spring bulbs, spring onion. So I'm going to try this blood red one. And where I'm going to put it is in with these elephant garlic. I'm going to put them in rows. I'm going to do the rows first. And then water. No, actually, I'll do the rows first. And I'm going to water in. There's the rows. I'm going to give it a water. I'll probably be using these as spring and not bulbum, but we'll see. We can still use them as both. So I use some as spring. 3 inches apart, and not quite close zones. I actually think as I'm doing them, I'm going to sow them like a bit more than, well, closer than 3 inches, because last year they didn't take very well. So I'm going to put them a bit closer again and thin them out in the long run. I'm hoping that gives us more of a chance to actually have some. Because we have quite a lot of salads and stir fries, so I think they'd be good with them. And I just wanted a different colour as well. I am putting some of the white Lisbon out as well, just your generic ones. But I wanted to get a different kind out as well. There we go. Right guys, so that's my job for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. And once again, I want to say a big thank you to Becky Metal for the hanging basket and the weather vane that will be put up when we eventually sort out where we're going to put it. We love them, honestly. It's made me smile every time I see it. I think that's all the jobs I can do for today until my compost arrives at the house and my strawberry runners, which will probably be next week. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video.